everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. All right, we are going to do Let's Make a Belly Band. So this is going to go in my Let's Make a Journal series. You'll only see these about once a month because at our ladies group, we're doing these type of things. So I just pop in here to get this ready for them and also thought I would share with you. So let's get started. So I bound some of my journals that, you know, when I have extra paper and stuff or extra things, I'm like, I need to have some journals where I can pop tags and belly bands and stuff in. So I have about 3 of them ready to go. Oh, I don't know why that's not in there. Uh-oh, you know what? I didn't sew it in. See, I didn't check my papers. Bad me. That's okay. I'm not changing it. Anyhow, so I'm going to use this one and we're going to do a belly band. So let's just talk about belly bands. Isn't that pretty? I can make a belly band out of that. But we're going to set that aside for now. And belly bands are super easy. I make mine according to my book. And my book is, you can do them horizontal or vertical, and my book is 8 inches, so I keep mine about 7 3/4 because I want them top to bottom, but I don't want them to go over the edge, or I would do the measurements this way. We'll do both. So there's some different things that you can use if you don't have, you know, digitals. Obviously digitals I do a lot of, so you can use that. This is just coffee dyed paper. You can use that. This is some scrapbook paper that I had. It's not a heavyweight, so you could use that. You can use dictionary pages like I have here. Now this one is tall enough. You can use book pages as well, but I always look for the height so that it matches the book. You can use magazine pages. You can use newspaper. You can use wrapping paper. So there's lots of different things. Just look for paper material and think, how can I make a belly band? All right, so it's super, super easy. This one I did score. Let me get these out of the way. So this one is about 2.5 by 7 3/4. And then when I did my scoring, I scored further on this side and not less on this side, but leaving myself a 1-inch belly band. And I'm going to tell you why I do that. So I get them folded over. And then get that one folded over. So see, this one comes over this edge. The reason I do that is when I get ready to put it into my book, I don't want to have this edge this way, because sometimes when you go to put your tags and stuff in, it can get caught on that edge, and we don't want that. So I always put them this way, so that when you go to slide your tag or paper or whatever in there, you don't have any resistance. I would use the same method if I was doing a double belly band. I would make sure that that folded part is in and down. So if you're using like a heavy piece of cardstock, you could probably just cut that to the 1 inch and put it in there. If you're folding paper, which I like to do, it gives it a little bit more stability. Use something lightweight and then do that 3 folds. Make it whatever size you want. See, I'd have to make sure I put it that way. All right, so there's that one. And then, of course, once I'm done, I guess I should tell you, once I'm done with that, I would go ahead and glue these down. And then that way they're nice and secure. And I'm just being fast here, but if it was, you know, if I'm putting this in a journal, I'm going to get my bone folder out And I'm gonna crease those edges down nice. And then, of course, I'm going to ink up all of my stuff. I like to ink. You don't have to. It's just me. I like to ink everything up. All right, so we'll probably use this one as I further go on. In fact, I may just glue that in here. And then that way we'll just be ready to go. All right, so let me pick a page that I want to glue this in. I don't think I want it on the first one. Here looks good. Okay, so then of course I would just glue top and bottom. And then I'm going to turn this towards me so I can kind of see where I want it and get it evened up. Whatever works for your eyes. I kind of lay it, but then I turn it back this way because it'll go wonky on me if I don't. Okay, and then I just push from the center out because I do want to make, I don't want this to be too loose. You know, by the time you start stuffing papers in there, it'll be fine, but there you go. You have your belly band. But oh, that's not it. That's not all of it. So again, let's get some of this cleaned up. You can take your dictionary paper, and this is a little bit thinner. So this one I might just fold like this. I might just go ahead and cut here. But again, I'm going to make sure when it's placed in my book, it's placed to where there's not going to be any resistance. So I might just do another fold, but then cut just inside that fold. And then you have a belly band. Of course, cut your top and bottom if you don't like the whites. And then same thing for just about any paper that you use. You don't need a scoreboard. I did score this one only because it was a scrapbook paper and I just didn't think I would get a nice fold. But then again, here you go. You can use music paper. Now, I have some music paper, but it's brittle. And so when I fold it, I don't use it for folding. I use it for embellishing. It'll crack. It cracks. So there's a few different types of items for putting in a belly band. Okay, so let's come back over here and let's just talk about decorating the front of this. So I went through my stash and sort of drug some things out, and I came across these I had done. These came out of magazines. I just cut them out, and I think it was magazines. I'm pretty sure. But I just cut them out. I backed them and just made some little ticket type things. So it could be as simple as gluing that to the middle. You would glue that, and then of course you have your belly band. Gotta grab me some tickets or tags or something to show you. Anyway, there's your belly band. So you could just add a couple more if you want to, but there you have it. Also, I have made these, and these were made from a die cut. If you don't have a die cut, you have circle punches. I'm going to show you that. You could use that, and then you could line these up here, and then that's your decoration for your belly band. So all I did was I just took my circle punch. I went through some of my scrap papers, and then I would ink these all up and glue them all together, and then there you have it. And I had this punch, and I don't know what I did with it. I think I got rid of it, but I might know where it's at. But it makes little buttons, and if I got rid of it, shame on me. Because I just came across this, and I thought, oh, wow, I forgot I used to make them little buttons. Anyway, so there's that. You could make a circle collage. Let's see what else. Now, if you don't want to do circles, that's fine. You could also make just one big collage, or you could make a square. You could make square collages. So I'm just going to I'm just going to use my ruler and try to get it as straight as possible. I definitely don't need it that big. That could be one great big one. And then I could add maybe this in the middle. I'm just making it a little bit smaller. Okay. Add that, and then I could add a little bit of music. You don't even need scissors, look, just use your ruler. You can rip all the paper you want. And then you can ink all your edges and put these together. And then there you go. And then you would just glue down the center, obviously, so that you're not sticking there on the side, but then you could do something in a square. Okay. And then, let's see, I pulled out some other things. These were left over from something I did, and I found them in all of my little scrappy things. So kind of like the pictures, I could just cut these out and then maybe stagger them down the line here. Like this. And then you have another little belly band. So see, these can be cut out of anything. Or you have a decoration for your belly band. Okay, so you could do that. Now, another thing that you could do, this is just something that I have from, it was a piece of scrapbook paper, 12 by 12 scrapbook, and it was just all these ruler things. You could even just ink that up and glue that straight down to that. You could add something, an embellishment to the middle of it if you want, but you could just do that. You could also do ripped paper, again, to add to it. You could add something to the middle. If you want to make this a little bit wider, you can, so you can add more things. I'm just kind of giving you some ideas. Let's see, what do I have over in my pile here? I'm working on something right now that is going to be super cool. And you could just add some butterflies if you have some butterflies. These are from, if I know where it comes from, I will let you know. But these are from Carolyn's Musings, and it goes with her Breath of Spring kit. That's what I'm working on. Oh, there's a bird in there too. So you kind of get the idea, but I just wanted to show you a couple more things. These are from Carolyn's Musings too, and I thought they were so cool. So these are just like fussy cuts, and I thought maybe I would do that because I think this is super cute. And I might do all 4 of them. But I wanted to show you something else I did. If you do have capabilities of printing. So this was actually my buttons from my button stash. And that sounds like a shop. Hey, might be something to that. Anyway, what I did was I laid this down on a piece of, I'm trying not to show you my icky finger because I kind of did something really dumb and cut my finger. So, but anyway, I laid this down, the buttons down on, I think, a piece of scrapbook paper that I had, just to see what it would look like for the outside. And then, but you could cut this out too. But if you have printing capabilities, you know, think about what you could take a picture of and then print out on your own printer to make your own embellishments. And then if all else fails, Dollar Tree. So here we go. We've got all kinds of different things from Dollar Tree, you know, take your pick. But I would say now these ones are full sticky on the back. So if you're going to use these ones, you're going to have to, you would probably have to put them on something else and cut around it, or put it on a circle like this, because if you lay it here, it's going to stick to your sheet. And then you're not going to be able to get anything in there. So if you do some sort of a circle thing, which actually I think I kind of like that, that would be fine. That's really cute. Okay, now I want to do a sunflower journal. But yeah, and then you would, you would just glue down your center to make sure nothing is sticking there. I'm going to have to make more of these now. I've been wanting to use up some of these stickers because I've become quite a sticker hoarder. Now these ones, I will say, if you're using these, a lot of these times they come double because they have a little piece of foam in the middle of them to puff them up. Now these ones aren't too bad, but if you feel like they're too puffy, you can always take that off and just glue that down. But I've inked these too, and I'll tell you a good way to do that. I've actually torn them apart, put them back together, and inked them. But this little eye makeup sponge works really great to get around on the little inside. And this one, I might not have to. But anyway, go to the Dollar Tree, get yourself some stickers. They have lots. You could do numbers. You could just do all numbers down there. Oh yeah, I did have some other things that I wanted to show you. So again, if you have printer capability, so I'm on several different sites and some that give out free digitals. And if you are on them, you can download all these, different pictures and stuff. These actually came from a kit, so that wasn't, but these were actually from a digital kit, but I just made them smaller. And some of these were, like little, pictures. You could do a music theme, which that should go there. But anyway, how you do this is all of your pictures have to be in the same envelope, and it's the same way that you would shrink down, to do 2 5x7s. I've talked about this before. Or you would do 4 by whatever it is, 3x5s. Well, down at the very bottom, they're almost like little postage stamp type where you can print. So you would have to choose the 30 items that you would like to print out. And when you print them, you'll get all these little different items, which are just great for embellishment. So I've given you lots of choices, lots of ways to do that. I think I am just going to go ahead and get these inked up because I think they're so darn cute. And I'm going to add them to this belly band. Okay, so I sort of have them laid out the way I want them. I'm going to start with the yellow one because it's going to go up underneath. And I'm only gluing down where, so I'm going to put that right here, and I'm only going to glue just down the center here. I'm going to double check that. I'm going to tuck that one up underneath that one. I'm going to do the same thing with the red, right down the center where I want it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do this one, because this is going to be the last one I lay on top. So let's see, I'm going to do that one this way. And then, let's see, this one is going to go this way. And there we have it. It is a belly band. Now you also could embellish a little bit more if you wanted to embellish your edges down here. Obviously you could put something across here. You could put lace, if you want to just kind of give it a little bit more, but that's the basics. Lots of ideas. And then of course you have your writing paper that goes in there. You could stuff a tag in there. and then you are good to go. So I hope you found that fun, everyone. Get some paper out, get some belly bands going, start your journal. I will list all of the videos I've done so far on Let's Make a Journal. Or actually, you can just go to my Let's Make a Journal playlist, and there you have it. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.